Hello. Let's have a little sipperoo. Right. Today I did some juicy inner child work and some tapping. So I wanted to come on and share with you what I learned today in the hope that it will help you learn something about you and maybe it'll catalyze something, and who knows where this is going to go. So as always, say hello if you are watching on the live, or if you're watching the replay, say hey girl, hey. So I know you're there. Hey Kerry, nice to see you. Where do I begin? As I was doing my morning practice, journaling and all the things. Hey Jessica, hey girl. As I was doing my morning practice, I had a memory come up for me, and it came up through, I had this feeling in my body, like this freeze. I knew it was a freeze response because I could feel it, and I understand what a freeze response feels like in my body, and that's what it was. And it came up, this memory came up, and it was kind of out of nowhere really, but the memory of me, my highest cash month ever was £24,000, like money in the bank, not just like in sales, like actual cash money in the bank was 24k. And it was like, whoa, fuck me, that's amazing. And I had like I think that was my first time I ever had like a 10k day. It was like bonkers and so fucking cool. And it was like this crazy month where everything was just clicking and flowing. It was the first time I'd ever made money like this before in my life, and I was completely like, what is happening? Like, I felt like I was flying out of my body because it felt so, like, it just felt unreal, and I get goosebumps even thinking about it. And it was just like this massive momentum was happening. This was about 2 or 3 years ago, and I've never made more than that to this point. Like, that's always been my highest cash. I got close, like 21, 22, but I've never done 24 or above again. And when something like that comes up for me, I know that there's a reason, that there's something deeper that I can look at and help me move beyond. And so I started to feel it, and I have this very clear picture of me walking in this little shopping precinct on our island, and I had just been into our little town, and I'd walked into a shop, and I think I've told this story before, but if you haven't heard it, then this you get to hear it for the first time today. I walked into a shop in town to buy some crystals, and the lady who owned the shop went, oh, Georgina, we'd had a sales call. I used to do sales call back in the day, not anymore, not for years. But she said, Georgina, I've been meaning to get in touch with you. I've got cash. Can I just give you cash? And I was like, what? And back then it was like, I think it was like £3,000 to work with me for 3 months, which is like, is a lot more now. But back then it was £3,000. And she literally handed me an envelope of cash, like of cash money into my hand in the shop. And I was like, what the fuck? And he came in here to buy some crystals. And she was like, when can we start? You know? So I was like, oh, whoa, okay, yeah, amazing, like, let's go. You know, that's it. When I'm saying it now, I'm like, it feels like, how did that even happen? But it did. Like, £3,000 cash, there you go, from someone who I was not expecting to work with me, and I was going to give her money for some crystals. So anyway, I received the money, and I remember like walking out of the shop and just being like, what the fuck is happening? This is amazing. Getting my car, driving to another, we have parishes in Jersey, like that's what the different little areas are called. Drove to another parish, got out in this little shopping precinct, and I went to treat myself to some new clothes from one of my favourite shops on the island. Just like lock in the celebratory energy of like, holy fucking balls, this is amazing. And I don't know, like, I know what happened after like a couple of hours after, and it wasn't anything massive. I just had an argument with my boyfriend because he said, and this is in my book, I think, actually, he said to me, you know, oh, is that really wise? Like, should you really just be out like spending money? I'd spent about £100, you know. I was like, we'll be fine, because he'd seen me just come out, you know, be in quite a lot of financial stress in the months leading up to this, and then suddenly there was this massive amount of money coming in, and in his mind he's like, it would be sensible to like put that away and just take what you need and start stockpiling and saving and building. And in my mind, I'm just like, I want to lock in this celebratory energy. I want to expand this energy, understanding that by anchoring it in through making a special purchase is like saying, yes, I love this, thank you universe, and more please, which is what I do now, and it fucking works. But back then I did it and I was all excited, and I got home and I was like, I told my boyfriend, like, I bought this and I bought you a t-shirt from this shop, and he was just like, Nolly, is that really wise? And I was just like, and I was so gutted that he didn't reflect my excitement back to me. And then we had a little argument, and it was like it was actually fine in the end. And now he doesn't give a fuck. Now he knows if I come back with a bag from Mad Hatter, he's like, oh, good sales day. And I'm like, yep. Because I still like to go to that specific shop. They just do, like, I actually got this from there. And they just do such lovely, lovely clothing. It's such good quality and just like really different. And I love it in there. So he knows now if I come back with a Mad Hatter bag, he knows that I've obviously had a good sales day. So it's kind of like a, like a little fun thing that we still do. When I look back on that memory this morning, excuse me, I just had some cacao, and so I think my throat's a little bit dry. It does that to me sometimes. So I had this memory of walking around this precinct just after like having my little shopping spree and feeling really like, just like, fuck, life is amazing, just being like buzzing on life. But when I was looking at the memory, let's see if I can explain this as best as I can. I might just have to kind of transmit it to you so you can just like feel it. It was like, I could see the excitement and then it would like freeze. So it's almost like I was watching a movie and then it would just literally just like freeze, like, and I could just see myself being like, and that was it. Like I could just see myself from the side like I was watching a movie, and it just froze. And it was almost like I knew what happened once I got home, and I couldn't imagine myself gaining any momentum past that point. Don't know if that makes sense. It's the only way I can describe it, is that the image just froze, and it was like when I looked at the image and I felt into my body, I just had this freeze response. And it was like I got the message on that day. Somehow something in my body flicked a switch and said, it's not safe for you to make this much money. It's not safe for you to have this level of financial abundance. It's not safe for you to be in this level of momentum with money. And that's what I locked in. So although the memory itself was celebratory, I had somehow tripped a freeze trauma response in my body. And I've been carrying that for years. And I've looked at it before, and I've tapped on it, and I've done things with it before. And I've never really had the release that I had today. So that's why I've come to share it with you. Hey, Julia, nice to have you on live. Haven't seen you in a while, girl. So this morning I felt into it and I tuned in, and I was just really feeling into the freeze response. It took me back to this memory of me being a little kid, about 5 or 6, at school, when they had like the temporary swimming pool outside, and we do swimming lessons at school, and me not wanting to get in the swimming pool. And then I did a little bit of reprogramming there, and then it took me back to when I was a baby and did a little bit of work there. And then the memory, I'm chuffed you caught me live too. It's lovely to have you here. I don't normally go live this time on a Friday. I'll do it more often. So I saw this third memory. I could feel like, yeah, this is this, and then these are like pieces of the puzzle, but I could feel that it wasn't like the big one, I would call it, like the big one, like the thing that, like, it's not always the earliest time it happens. Sometimes the trauma release, like the real big release, will come from like the compound effect of a couple of things happening that repeat a similar, that like reinforce a similar belief or a similar behavioral pattern or trauma response. And then it'll be like the second or third time it happens that it's like, that's the linchpin, that's where it fucking This is where you learnt it. This is where you reinforced it. And this is where that motherfucker got locked the fuck into your psyche for good. And this is the one. So I kind of went to about 5 or 6, somewhere between 4 and 6. Like I was really young at primary school, in the swimming pool. Then it went back to me being a little kid, like a baby. Then whoop, it came back to me. It went boing, boing. And then it came to a slightly later memory, probably me being around maybe 6 or 7, when there used to be a thing at the local swimming pool called Pluto's Playtime. And Pluto's Playtime was where they would basically get a fuckload of massive inflatables, throw them in a giant public pool, and children would just go fucking chaotic. Now there was like a baby pool and a big grown-up pool. Grown-up, but like obviously it was still just kids in there, they're just a bit older. Now, as a little kid, I was quite adventurous. As much as I was like timid, there was this side of me that like, pretty much like now, to be fair, like when I've decided that I can do something and people go, oh, you mustn't do that, that's not safe. I'm like, what, really? Fuck off, it's fine, let's just do it. You know, so it's like, I can be timid in social situations and stuff like that. But at the same time, like if I can just see myself doing something and someone's like, oh, you probably shouldn't do that, that's not possible, I'm just like, all right, mate, whatevs, and off I go and just do it anyway. And that was the energy I had around this. It didn't even occur to me to be afraid. It just didn't even dawn on me as a little kid going into the big pool. It did not even dawn on me to be afraid, because I was so excited to play in the big pool, because that's where Pluto was. That's where the big Pluto toy was, and that's why we were there. So my mum used to keep me in the little kiddies pool because she couldn't swim, so she was nervous of water and blah, blah, blah. And obviously she was just trying to be a good mum and keep me safe, because she knew she couldn't swim. So she was just operating from her place of, I can't swim. If anything happens to my baby, I can't jump in and save her because I will drown trying. So in her mind, I get where she was coming from now. But back then I was just like, nah, whatevs, I'm going in. Eventually she let me go into the big pool. Like, she was reticent, but we did it. And I got into the pool, and I don't even remember having a good time. All I remembered was almost drowning as a slightly older boy cannonballed into the, I mean, it was a health and safety nightmare. This shit would never be allowed now. But in the 80s, it was like, fuck it, if they die, never mind, like, they'll be fine. And I literally had this child who was bigger than me, cannonballed into the pool, landed on my head, because I used to love to be under the water. That was like my favourite thing. My mum fucking hated it. But I just remember being under the water, and then this kid landing on my head and smashing me to the bottom of the pool. And then obviously I was under the water, like panicking, because I had just been out of nowhere. I was having a lovely time, spot the pattern, great time, no fear, loving life. I'm in the big pool, amazing shit's happening. I've upgraded to the big pool, metaphors much, hello, small fish in a big pond. And then suddenly, smash! Not only do I get physically hurt, but like I almost drowned, you know, like I was panicking under there. It was scary. So that pattern locked in a real fear of, when I'm in momentum, if I allow myself, this was the belief, this was the pattern that I cleared today. If I allow myself to just dive in, literally, figuratively and literally, just dive in and just follow what feels fun. If I allow myself to just fucking go for it, reckless abandon, have fun, see what happens, let's go, champ, I'm going to get hurt. That was the pattern that got locked in. That it's not safe for me to just play. It's not safe for me. And I often say, like, in social situations, for example, in new places, I'm in a new mastermind situation right now. It started this week, and it is like nothing I've ever been a part of. It's going to be immense, actually. It's a year long, and I don't normally do things for that long, but I didn't know it was that long when I signed up for it. It's with, she's called Melanie Ann Leah. And I get to work with her and this group of women for an entire year. And we get like a lot of access to, it's just, I mean, the most mind-blowing thing I've ever been a part of. So this is like bringing up for me all of these pieces around like belonging, you know, stepping into being a little fish and feeling like a little fish in a big pond, expansion. Like I took a leap on this program. I didn't even know what this program was. She didn't even know what it was when she launched it. She literally just said, this is how much it's going to be. And if you want it, message my team and they'll give you a link. And even she didn't know what this offering was going to be when she launched it. And I just felt so pulled to it. And my body was just like, you need to be in there. So I just sent this woman $10,000, like with no idea what this fucking thing was going to be. And it has, I mean, it's already surpassed my expectations if we haven't even fully started yet. I'm already like, whoa, the amount of stuff that it's activating in me to clear just to feel like I deserve to be in the space, you know, like it's really showing me all the parts of myself that were hiding. It's showing me the parts of myself that were like, you know, like I'm in now. I'm in. This is some big shit that we're doing in this group. Like it's full on. There's no hiding. And I had a choice. Like, do I sit back and do what I normally do and kind of, you know, either performance face on, or the other thing that I normally do is I kind of just like dip my toe in and I like observe and I wait to let everyone else show themselves. And then I kind of feel out where I sit in my perceived hierarchy of who's in there. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Every person in this group deserves to be in this group. We all took a leap of faith. We all invested in something that we didn't even know what it was going to be. We all trusted our intuition to that level to send someone, you know, a bunch of money to be like a one-off payment. Just like, whoom, there you go, take $10,000 of my money. I don't even know what I'm paying you for, but I'm in. Like, I'm in for the ride. Let's go, you know. Mental. Anyway, it's helped me see these parts of myself and it's activating so much in me. And I could see all these amazing women putting their like, you know, there are people in that group that I've looked at like, whoa, seen them on the internet and just been like, wow, this bitch is fucking, she is amazing. Like this, you know, like people that I've considered hiring as mentors, like there's a full range of people in there. People who haven't been in business as long as me, people who are making like 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. Like it is an intense range of people in that group. But the thing that binds us and the thing that unites us is that we all knew we had to be in there. And so it's really making me see myself and like witness the parts of myself that I've kind of like hung back from, that I haven't wanted to fully claim, like being that bitch, you know, like that I've kind of like, oh, I don't know. And I think sometimes we forget that when we invest in something that like a mentor or a coaching program or like you know, even if it's something like you just do like one of my catalyst sessions or something, it's like it's not just the one-to-one time that you get with the person you're investing in. It's like, what version of myself am I saying yes to by claiming my spot? What version of me am I, Georgina, saying yes to by claiming my spot in this mastermind, in this group? And by, you know, at one point I'm gonna, you know, everyone's gonna see me a lot more. I won't reveal the structure of the program. It's all quite, you know, unique the way she's doing. It's very cool. But it's just amazing to me. A friend of mine said to me yesterday, she's a coach as well, her name's Jen, and she said to me, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The transaction is like the first part of the transformation. I was like, yes, it's exactly what it is. I often say when people sign up to work with me or when I've invested in coaches, I immediately experience some kind of activation or initiation, because it's like I've just said yes to that version of me that lives in my mind, lives in the future, but actually then they're just me. They're just a deeper level. They're just, you know, that you already lives inside of you. It's just really about like carving away the stuff that's stopping you from seeing yourself in that way. And that's why I love this kind of work. So that's really what I just want to come and share with you. You know, this freeze response that I've been holding had been holding me back from being able to fully jump in life, you know. And it had also stopped me from expanding beyond a certain point, because it was like when I expanded to that point in the past, it just tripped this whole series of like mini traumas, and they'd all just been compounded, and they caused this freeze response in my body. So literally whenever I felt that momentum or that excitement again, my body just went and like pinged back like a rubber band. So if there's a goal, if there's something, whether it's financial or maybe there's a fitness or health goal you're working on, maybe it's something in your creativity, and you just feel like you've had like a big win at some point, and you feel like you're always trying to recreate that, or you know, make it happen again, or you just feel like you can't even get close to it, and you're kind of looking back at it rather than looking back at it. The thing that really struck me about when I noticed that freeze frame of me being like, I'm super excited, the thing that I realized about it was like, I couldn't feel beyond that. I couldn't feel momentum going beyond that point, even though I did have some more money momentum after that month, in reality. But in my energetic system, in my mind and in the memory, it's like I don't remember it physically. I don't remember feeling the momentum. It's like in that moment, subconsciously, the switch had flicked to create a stop, a freeze. Okay, that's enough. Put the brakes on. This is going to get dangerous if you keep going. So that's why inner child work is so important. So if you're not doing daily, exploration, then this is your reminder to do it, because you never know what you're going to find. And you don't have to like go purposefully digging for dirt. For me, this was because I was just kind of watching a live stream about something, and then I realized I just had that memory pop up into my mind, and when I looked at it, I was thinking, why does that memory always come up for me? And then it seems like a positive memory. So why does it keep coming up with the attachment of this like sensation in my body, this freeze? And then I just got curious enough to start tapping on it and feeling into it today. And then all this gold came out, and I had a massive emotional release, a juicy, big, delicious, bubbly snot cry. And then afterwards, I just felt so peaceful, and I felt like, and then when I looked at the memory again, it was like it just looked really light and playful. There was no freeze response in my body around it anymore. And rather than looking at it, trying to like recreate it, or just feeling like if I recreate it, it's just going to create this stop, this full stop, and then like the void, nothing afterwards. When I felt into the energy of it, I could start to feel momentum. So another thing just before I go is to remind you that when you've got a goal in mind, say your financial goal right now is to hit like a 5-figure month, that's great. But if you focus on hitting a 5-figure month and that's all you're really feeling into, that's what you're working towards, when it happens, it's really then, when you get there, it's like, oh, fuck, can I do it again? Oh, shit, how did I do it? I wonder if I can do it again. Oh, shit, man, what if I can't do it again? So that kind of stuff can come up for us as well. So it's about knowing like, yeah, the 5-figure month will come, and when it does, what are you on your way to? What does it signal for? Like, is it just like, yes, I hit that. Oh, okay, well, that's it then. Bye, I'm off the internet, never selling anything again. Or is it like, I'm so excited to hit my first 5-figure month, because once I've hit that, then I know that there's going to be even more, and that's going to lead to a 6-figure year. And then, oh my God, what if one day I end up having 6-figure months? Whoa! Like, allow yourself to get excited by the momentum without making what you have now not enough. It's like you can be in the excitement of what you're creating without making where you are not enough, or lack, or like injecting fear into it. You can either look at it like, oh fuck, once I hit 5 figures, what if I can't do it again? And then, okay, I'll just get to 5 figures, and then I'll think about the rest. You can have that kind of very head masculine, like, or you can just be in that like more playful feminine energy of like, yeah, but 5-figure a month is going to be so fucking exciting. And then more, and then more, and then more, and then holy fuck, before you know it, you're a millionaire, right? So again, allow yourself to get excited about the next step and the next step and the next step without that taking, let it add to your experience now. Let what you're creating for the next year or 5 or 10 years, let that be so juicy that the person you are today, with the resources you have today and the ideas that you have today, be enough, more than enough, because you already know what it's heading up to. So if today is just another day on your journey to becoming a millionaire or a multimillionaire or a world famous artist, or like, you know, as famous as Tony Robbins in the coaching industry, if today is just another day on the journey to that, boom, bitch. You know, like, that's fucking amazing. Rather than seeing like, oh, well, I'm not there yet. That energy ain't going to get you anywhere. So remember, build excitement about all the beautiful, juicy things, and just allow that to be something that you resource. You can resource your excitement for from these future memories to give you the juice, to find the inspiration, to connect you deeply with your desires, and the aligned action that you can take today in this moment that's going to move you and like just turn the dial, realign you so that you're on the right trajectory to create that amazing fucking life that you're building for yourself. That's all I have to say today. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to invite all of your friends. They're more than welcome to come and play in my happy tappy world. What is something you're taking away from this live stream? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to tag me or I won't see it. And that's it. Love you, bye.